Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine and I'm 25 years old and I live in Melbourne, Australia with my husband and my beautiful puppy Nugget. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, but I just haven't really got around to it. It's just been sitting on my list of videos to film. So I thought today I would do that for you. In today's video, I'm going to be doing one half of my face in, I guess you could say, more expensive non-drugstore makeup. And then on the other side of my face, I'm going to be doing drugstore, cheap, affordable makeup. So I'm pretty much going to be doing the exact same thing on both sides of my face, just to show you guys that you don't need the most expensive products to get a look that looks really amazing, lasts really well. And to be honest, the drugstore foundation that I'm going to be using today is actually the one that I use a lot. I use it every single day. Absolutely love it, cannot fault it. You guys can even be the judge to see that it will honestly just look the same. Before I get into the video, if you guys haven't subscribed already, please do so down below. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, you can also go do that as well if you like, because I do post a little bit more about my day-to-day life over there. So without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Just gonna bring you guys in a little bit. Gonna get nice and close today. Just gonna tuck my hair back so it's out of the way. So on this side of my face, I'm gonna be doing the more high-end, more expensive products, and this side I'm going to do the drugstore. So on the drugstore side of my face, this is the one that I use all the time, I use it every single day, is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the shade 112. And then on this side of my face, I'm going to be using my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm actually going to be mixing two shades. So I'm going to be mixing Oslo, and also, I can never pronounce it, but it's Dupes. The lighter shade I feel is a little bit too light for me, and the darker one is a little bit too dark, and for it to match properly with the drugstore, I think I'll need to mix them up. So I'm going to start on this side of my face using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. So I just use this, I honestly need a new one, so don't look too close at it, but just a damp sponge to put my foundation on. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the sponge. It's going to feel really weird just putting everything on one side of my face, because usually I spread it all out first so it's even across my face, and then I go in to spread it in, blend it out, spread it in. What kind of talk is that? Bogan talk, I reckon. My hair is already annoying me because I recently got bangs and they don't tuck behind my ears properly, and they're just going to get in the way. So I'm just going to push my hair back with my pink fate band. Probably should have done this at the start, because now there's probably going to be foundation, yep, all over this headband. Alright, so that's that side of my face done. So now I'm going to go on to the non-drugstore side, just using that NARS foundation. I'm going to just do a little bit of both, because like I said before, I just feel like they're both just slightly off, and I don't want it to be too obvious that I got two different sides of makeup on my face. Okay, so that is the foundation on. The shades look exactly the same. I think the only difference I can notice so far is that the drugstore side is less coverage, it's not as thick. So maybe that might stand out a little bit at the end, but hopefully you won't be able to tell. Alrighty, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is the contour bronzer. So for my drugstore side, I'm going to be using my Revolution and Roxy contour and highlighter palette. So this is what it looks like. This is what you see on the inside. So you got your contour shades on this side and more of your highlighter bronzer shades on this side. So for the contour, I'm going to be just using this shade just at this top one here. Just a little bit up on my forehead and down the temple. I really know if you can even see that showing up in the camera. Beautiful. Yeah, for this side, I'm going to be using my Mecca Max Off-Duty Contour Stick in the shade Medium. And I'm just going to pop that on the highest points of my cheekbone, temple, and a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit down the side of my nose. I've got to do this side of my nose, so I'm just going to use that contour stick. And time to blend. I do actually like the contour sticks at the moment better than the powder. I just find that it blends a bit nicer and looks a bit more natural, I guess you could say. I just didn't have a drugstore contour stick to be able to compare it to. Just gonna quickly blend out that on my nose. Oh, I hate doing this because it tickles. Alrighty. So my next step is going to be powder. For the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my very empty and in need of a new one, my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. I have very much hit pan on this, but there is little bits around the edges that I will be determined to get before I chuck this out, because that would just be a complete waste. So on the other side, I'm going to be going in with my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Dabbing that all around this side of my face. I actually find that I use this Laura Mercier powder on more of a day-to-day basis more than the other one. I just find, yes, it's more expensive, but it feels so much nicer, lasts so much longer on my face, and I find that you don't really need much of it at all, so it actually lasts quite a while. Now I've got the little tiny one, it's lasted me, God, I don't even remember when I got this, so it's honestly a really good investment. Alrighty, so the next step I'm going to go in with is blush. For the drugstore side, I'm going to be using the Max Factor Cream Puff Blush in the shade 20 Lavish Mauve. Just going to pop that at the highest points of my cheekbones and bring it up to my temple. It's quite a subtle blush, like you can't really see it too much on camera, but in the mirror you can definitely see it's a nice subtle colour. So for the more expensive side, I'm going to be using, yes, it's old, but it's a goodie. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, and the back is completely rubbed off, so I'm not even sure exactly what it was called. Too Faced Blush, which looks like this on the inside. Yeah, I really do not know if they still sell this. This is incredibly old. I used to use this all the time. I loved it that much. So I'm just going to do the same thing on this side, so just tops of my cheekbones and just bring it up to my temple. Alrighty, so next I'm going to go in with a little bit of a powder shimmer bronze. So for the drugstore side, I'm going to be going in again with the Revolution and Roxy Contour and Highlighter palette. But this time I'm going to be going in with this shade here down the bottom. I'm just using a big fluffy edged brush just to dab that onto there, tap off the excess and kind of just put it in the same spot that I put the other bronzer earlier. So pretty. So for the other side, I'm going to be using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. And for this one, I have also unfortunately hit pan. I'm going to get through it all. It's honestly going to last me so much longer because I got this, I don't know if this is gross and unhygienic, but I think I honestly got this close to like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's still going good. And I use it almost daily. So the final step, just for the base side of things, is going to be highlighter. So for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my Revolution highlighter in the shade Condition. I'm just going to be popping that on the top of the apples of my cheeks on, what do you call this part? Brow bone. But that is beautiful, gosh. I don't even know if I've ever used that before. But I really, really like that. So for the other side, I'm going to be using my MAC Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish. I feel like this is just an old classic go-to highlighter. I feel like everyone back in the OG beauty YouTuber days, not saying that I'm a beauty YouTuber, just disclaimer. I swear everyone used to use this. And I still use it to this day and I still feel like it's just amazing. Righty, so the two eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be comparing today, for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my Australis Neutralize Nude Eyeshadow Palette. And I'll be comparing that to my Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette because I feel like a lot of these colours are quite similar and I wanted more of a neutral look today. I think those two will be my best bet because they're extremely similar, but I am going to keep it quite simple because I am actually going out after this and also filming another video, so I don't want it to be too crazy. I'm not wanting to redo my makeup because I am lazy. Righty, so to start off with, I'm just going to be going in with this light brown shade at the top here. Tap off that. I'm just going to pop that all over the base of my lid. And blend, 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 blend. I feel like it's so weird I'm only doing one eye at a time and like one side of your face at a time. Like my usual next step would be do the same thing on this side to make sure it looks exactly the same. So next I'm going to go in with this darker brown shade at the bottom. Oh no, I just dunked my finger in some eyeshadow. Love that for me. I'm just going to be focusing that more on the outer corner of my eye and kind of focusing on bringing it up towards the end of my eyebrow and also blending it into my crease. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's like a champagne pink sparkly shade and focus that more on the inner corner of my eye. Might have to use my finger because that is just not showing up. I'm just going to grab some of that first light brown shade just on a smaller thin brush. So this is the Mecca Max Smudge Shadower brush and just focus that on my lower lash line. Might add a little bit more of that darker shade just on the outer corner of the lower lash line too. For the other side, I'm going to start in with the shade Milk Chocolate from the Too Faced eyeshadow palette. I might mix that in actually with the Salted Caramel on this side, just so it picks up a little bit more of the same shade as the drugstore one. And once again, I'm going to focus that all on the base of my lid and bring it up into the crease. So next I'm going to take the shade Semi Sweet and focus that on the outer corner of my eyelid up to the outer edge of my eyebrow and bring that over into the crease as well. And just blend that all out. I'm also going to bring that first milk chocolate shade with the salted caramel shade on my lower lash line just to pull that all together. And then go in with the darker shade called Semi Sweet just on the very outer corner of my lower lash line. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Marzipan, which is this light champagne pink shimmery shade. I'm just going to put that just on the inner corner of the eyeshadow. Okay, so now onto eyebrows. I'm not really going to be doing too much with my eyebrows because I'm pretty happy with how they are. I don't even know if I've got a drugstore eyebrow pen. So I don't have a drugstore eyebrow pen that I would want to use in this video. So instead I'm just going to use two different brown coloured eyebrow mascara. What do you call them? Gel mascara? Brown mascara. So for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my Rimmel London Wonderful Brow 24-hour waterproof brow mascara in the shade 02 Medium. I'm just going to use that just to push up my brows, also give them a little bit more colour. I did get them waxed and tinted a couple weeks ago, but I feel like that's starting to fade. Now for the other side, I'm going to be using it's the brow mascara that's from the Great Brow Basics kit, which is in the shade 3. I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I don't know if you guys can notice it or if it's just me. The only difference I can see so far with the eyebrows is I feel like this drugstore side is more of a lighter brown, whereas this is more of like an ashy brown. Can you see the difference, or is that just me? Or am I just seeing things? Alrighty, so for mascara, for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. I still don't know how I feel about this mascara. I know some people love it. I feel like the wand feels so thin and flimsy that makes it more hard for me to work with. Even though it does honestly do a great job. I'm just not the biggest fan of the wand. I'm just going to pop a little bit on my lower lashes as well. So for the other side, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This will honestly always be one of my all-time favourite mascaras. And this probably isn't a very good comparison for mascaras because the wands are so different. But I do find that they kind of give off the same effect as an end result anyway, despite them being like completely opposite kinds of wands. So they are the two mascaras side by side. I feel like they're really not that different. You can't tell me that you can tell the difference, that these are completely different mascaras, because I wouldn't be able to tell. So next is lips. So we are almost done. So hopefully you guys are still watching. Who knows, I could just be talking to myself. This is kind of like the closest dupe that I have in my collection at the moment for more of like a neutral lip. I was going to go something more like bold and like red, but I thought maybe that's just a little bit too intense and not quite what I'm going for, especially because I'm going out after this and need to film something else after this, which won't be a good look with red. The two I've got to compare, one is the NYX Lingerie Liquid Lipstick, which is in the shade 03 Lace Detail, I think it's called. And then the other liquid lipstick I'm going to compare it to is the Stila Stay All Night Liquid Lipstick in the shade Caramello. First I'm going to go in with the NYX lipstick, and I'm just going to be popping that just on this side of my lips. So that is that side, and then I'm going to go in with the Stila Caramello shade on the other side. I feel like the Stila one will be slightly different colour because it's more of a brownie shade. Yeah, so they weren't the best to actually compare them to. They definitely looked more similar outside of the bottle than putting it on. Finally, to finish off this look, I'm going to be using some setting spray. So on this side, I'm going to be using the Australis Girl Boss Illuminating Finishing Spritz. And on the other side, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Now, I feel like this is just going to go on both sides, but in the spirit of the video, I'll focus it on this side. Time to dry that bad boy off. Alrighty, so this is the finished look. I think, honestly, the only difference that is just absolutely standing out, yelling to me, is the lip colour, purely because I thought they were going to be a bit more similar than it actually is. So this side kind of looks a lot more of a darker brown, whereas this side is more of like a natural my lip colour but better. I feel like everything else you can't really tell, like the eyebrow colour is still sticking out to me a little bit, but this is the eyes with the eyeshadow and mascara. I feel like they're pretty damn similar, and the skin, same deal. I feel like you cannot really tell the difference, but all I'm looking at is this lip color, and I feel like I'm just gonna have to blend it out because it's gonna drive me insane. I'm gonna have to just go in with a little bit more of the NYX one over the top. Didn't fix it at all. Okay, It's fine. We're okay. It's just gonna have to do. I'm gonna probably take I'm probably gonna take these lips off straight after I finish filming this video. Alrighty guys, so that was it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun doing it. I feel like if I do a second version of this video, I could probably up my game a little bit, not gonna lie. Probably some more exciting colors. Definitely work on the lip color because that was just honestly a complete fail. Let me know in the comments down below what makeup dupes you guys have that you think are absolutely amazing, and maybe something I could use in a future video comparing drugstore to more higher end products. If you guys enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed already, please do so down below and give the video a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it and it really helps my channel out. If you also want to see more of my day-to-day life and what I get up to, you can feel free to go follow me on my Instagram because I do post my stories on there quite a lot, I would say. Not all the time, but definitely more than what I would post on here. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.